Wow, we're at 50? Okay, so legend, way faster than advertised. 53? How? That's wild. So a couple years ago, Voro Motors introduced us to the Inmotion RS Midnight and the Inmotion RS. Retail for $4,000. And yes, the Inmotion RS Midnight is, to this day, the only scooter I've ever owned that I didn't have to do any work on. Nothing ever broke, nothing was ever bad and needed adjustment. It just works every single time, including after I rode it underwater. I even did a full teardown on my Inmotion RS Midnight 6 months after I rode it underwater, and no rusts except for on the top deck bolts. But the Inmotion RS Midnight, as far as I'm concerned, with durability and range, is the GOAT. But Voro Motors quickly realized that not everybody has $4,000 to spend on an electric scooter. I imagine they were thinking, dang, if this thing were just a little bit cheaper, we'd probably get a lot more sales. So they came out with the Inmotion RS Lite, which had a slightly smaller battery and slightly smaller motors, but it was the same physical size, albeit lighter, like from a weight standpoint. It was still the exact same size dimensionally, so it's still very hard to get in and out of your front door. And the Inmotion RS Lite, I think, was $27.99 when it first came out, which was, granted, $1,200 cheaper than the Midnight, but still by no means cheap. So this year, on their third year of iterations, they come out with the Inmotion RS Jet. And this thing is physically smaller, has narrower bars, and a lot more cool features like this touchscreen display. And it comes in at a price point at $23.99. So it's actually very comparable to a lot of mid-range scooters. Like if the VSET 10 Plus R is still for sale, this thing stomps on the VSET 10 Plus R. And from Voro, this thing is actually the cheapest 72-volt scooter they've ever launched. You're getting a 72-volt scooter with a massive amount of power for $23.99. And yeah, you can buy cheap Chinese scooters with that amount of power, but they're just not good. Like, they're gonna break. A lot of components are cheap. They just feel flimsy. The charge ports will stop working, or in really crazy cases, they'll catch on fire. But this thing is made by Inmotion, one of the top tier brands. AAA brand, if you will. If you lean back a little, just a little tiny bit, that front tire goes wild. But just like the Inmotion RS Midnight, you can adjust the settings to control the power output and the braking power for the front and rear motor individually. Pretty sweet, right? I'd like to change lanes and we can use our awesome blinkers. Can you see those on the handlebars after this truck? Oh yeah, that's got some sturdy pull to it. We're gonna have to wait at this stoplight for a long time though. Oh, nice brakes. They smoking? No, they're not smoking. I was riding around the Kukirin G4 Max, which is a huge, humongous scooter, and I was smoking the front brakes on that thing. Oh, it's smoking again. It's smoking again. Oh my God. These are the nut quad piston brakes too. I wonder if the suspension has got rebound adjustment. Oh, it does. It does. I should have known that off the top of my head because I did a full teardown on this thing when I first got it. Don't go, black car. All right, pin it. Okay. Jesus. I don't know if it's just because this thing has full battery, but it has got some serious get up and go. It's like 0 to 45 kind of instantly. At least it feels that way for me. I'm gonna spoil it a little bit, tell you some of the features on this thing while we're on our way to the post office and the restaurant. The two main things, obviously, that stick out, well, three really. First one being the full touchscreen anti-glare TFT display right here. This thing is sweet. This scooter, hands down, has the best display I've ever seen on a scooter. And I've seen a lot of displays. Granted, most of them are like the same, just recycled on a different version of a different scooter, but this one is brand new, full touchscreen, anti-glare, can see it in direct sunlight. I friggin' love this thing. Cut up here, which you can't do in a car. Don't mind me. Suspension on this thing is awesome. I don't know if you can see it bouncing up and down. It's very stable too. Much more stable at high speed than low speed. Bars have some serious rake to them, and the trail is nice. I don't know if you can see that. Pretty far slanted back. But it's a little bit wobbly at low speed. I noticed that it kind of want to tips to the left, but as soon as you get above 20 miles per hour, it's rock solid. And I attribute that to the angle of the bars there. Oh yeah, I was telling you about the features. The second feature is that you now have fully adjustable suspension, just like the Inmotion RS, which again costs almost twice as much. But this time you don't have to put the scooter up on a stand. You don't have to take anything apart. You just have to have an Allen wrench, and then you turn a little bolt on the top of the fenders, and the suspension will automatically adjust itself. You can raise and lower the scooter on demand pretty much. Like, the only way it could get better than that is if there was a button right here that hydraulically raised and lowered them, but yeah, no. It's got slightly narrower bars and a narrower, overall deck width compared to the Inmotion RS. The RS costs significantly more. As far as I'm concerned, this thing actually might be faster off the line than the RS. I don't know. I do have the acceleration force on 100% for front and back, but it's still like tears off the road. pretty fun stuff. It's been a while since I rode a nice, comfortable scooter. We're almost to the post office. I'm so stoked. We're going to this place that I love going to for lunch. It's called Palace Korean. They've got some happy hour specials that cannot be beat. We're talking 45% off entree prices. So I'm going to the post office to return a DC step-down controller for a Wolf King GT Pro that I bought for $65 on Amazon. And then I saw it on AliExpress for 11 bucks with the same shipping time. So unfortunately, I'd already bought the Amazon one, but just gonna return it. Cost $5, it's fine. And then we got to drop off some orders for PEV outlets at the UPS store. Everything right now is shipping with 2-day free shipping. We're gonna test, we're gonna see if this thing has a lock or a park mode. I haven't checked. Actually, I'm pretty sure it does in the app. This scooter is fully app compatible too. Can you see the little Bluetooth logo right there? I'm not gonna spoil the touchscreen for you, but it does have a touchscreen. We gotta wait till we get to the park for that. All right, so I've got my Inmotion app open. We're gonna scroll down. Oh, this is the Velo right here. The Velo is what it was originally called. It's now called the Jet. And it's connected, 91% battery. Matches what the display reads also. That's normal, that's pretty rare. A lot of times there's a discrepancy between voltage and percent battery remaining between apps and displays, but not this one. Lock right there. Only the owner of the current vehicle can do it. Do you want to authorize as an owner now? Duh. Warm tip. Yeah, authenticate me as an owner. Successfully authorized as main owner. Confirm. So now I can lock it. Oh, the display turned off. And I think what that does is engages the electronic brake. Does this thing have an alarm? Let's find out. Oh my God, it does. Whoa. Oh no. Okay, so the blinkers blink on the scooter. It also has like a kick feature. The scooter kicked forward and back to like let you know not to touch it, and then the horn blared. That's pretty cool. So I can feel totally safe going into the post office right now to drop off my packages, because I'll be able to tell the second someone touches my scooter. Can I drop this off with you?
Do you want a receipt?
Yes, please.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you very much. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, gotta get my phone out and unlock it. All right, unlock. Sweet. It reconnected Bluetooth when I came back out here too. That's really nice. Oh yeah, it's in park mode. So when you turn the scooter on, and if it sits idle for a preset amount of time, which you can change in the app and on the screen, it'll go into park mode, so the throttle doesn't work at all. But if I hit the plus button, it goes back to the mode that you were in before. You don't have to go through up through all the modes like you did on the other scooters. We've got a nice curved thumb throttle on this thing too. No janky thumb throttle or weird shaped trigger throttle. Even though it's in X mode right now and dual motor, I can still just finesse the throttle and go like 4 miles per hour. Not even bad. I don't know if you're as veteran as me and you can remember the square wave throttles where it was just on off when you touch it. Those things were wild. I'm glad we're past that era now. Okay, I'm gonna lock it again and go drop off my UPS package. Hi, just got drop off. Thank you very much. All right, Christian in Wisconsin, your Firelight has been dropped off. Unlocked. That's cool. 3 for 3, 0 issues with it disconnecting or not remembering that it was paired or anything like that. It'll disconnect Bluetooth if you go far enough away from it, and then when you come back to the scooter, it automatically reconnects Bluetooth to the scooter so you can unlock it. And that's nice. That'd be a pain if you had to repair it every time. Which honestly wouldn't surprise me. That seems like the sort of thing scooter companies would do. Just completely either overlook or not care about. Okay, let's get lunch. I'm starving. All right, we're in park mode. There we go. And give it one of these. Nice. That's the wrong side of the road. Gotta always keep your head on a swivel when you're on a scooter. You never know. I think the Korean place is actually up one parking lot. Jesus, this thing is crazy. I'm gonna have to do some head-to-head acceleration tests between the RS Midnight and this scooter, because this thing feels like it might actually accelerate faster on account of not being as heavy. All right. Oh, lock the scooter again. Succeeded.
You're ready.
Thank you very much. I feel so bad for this place. I hope they don't go out of business. Nobody here, but they've got killer lunch specials. Okay, to the park, which is also conveniently close by. Uh-oh, I forgot to unlock my scooter. Okay, I get it. You're angry. Succeed. Okay, now it's unlocked. It's all mine. Oh, we're in park mode. I always forget about that. There we go. I really like that it goes back to the mode you were in before instead of resetting back to like eco mode every time. And turn on my blinker. There's a cop right behind me. Now you can see that I'm turning. You see that big blinker? I love that. It's on the handlebar on the edge with 2 insanely bright LEDs. I had to actually adjust the bar so this LED wasn't pointed upwards because it was blinding me. That's the best blinker I've ever seen on a scooter. I can say that confidently. And it's got the best display I've ever seen on a scooter. This thing is so easy to read, magnificent. Power for days. I can't believe it still has, what, 90% battery? Can't be right. We're gonna have to do a range test on this thing for sure. Front tire. Ugh. This thing is sweet. It's just too much fun. Oh, I need to adjust the rebound on the suspension if I want to go ripping around. Does not have the handling for corners at high speed right now, but it's got the boing boing going for it right now. Be good for off-roading probably. It's like butter. The bars aren't even moving. That's sweet. Oh, this thing is super fun. I'm getting my chops on it now. Takes a few miles to get used to any scooter. Oh man, cornering too hard and then punching the throttle, this thing will slip out. The front tire is too powerful. I need to go into the app and adjust it with the settings, like limit the throttle to the front tire. Oh, this thing is quiet and so smooth. This is like potholy grass. Perfect little spot. God, that's a really fun scooter. I wasn't sure how I was gonna like it. And when I first stood on it and the bars started dipping left, I said, oh no. 87% battery left. And I've been ripping and dipping. Okay, this is my $11 lunch, if you can believe it or not. Big chub of rice. I got garlic mashed potatoes, kimchi, and big old pile of grilled chicken. You have to excuse me while I eat now, and then I'm gonna get back to telling you about the features. All right, well, I guess this is as good a spot as any. I'm gonna show you the Inmotion RS Jet up close and personal. Start with the grips here. Built-in blinkers, which are insanely bright. I had to actually twist the bars down so that this blinker was facing perfectly back, maybe a little bit down tilted, because it was pointed up out of the box. Well, I guess I just put it together that way, and it was blinding me. Waterproof button module here. This thing will turn on your headlight. It'll change speed modes. You can do front motor, rear motor, or both, which is pretty unique. A lot of scooters will just do both or rear. Here's your blinker buttons here. Check out these things. Like, we're in direct sunlight and you can still see those clear as day. That's another thing I want to point out in direct sunlight. Oh yeah, by the way, we have a horn. Basically as loud as a motorcycle horn. The display, in direct sunlight, fully visible. Maybe not to you on the GoPro, I feel like it's not doing it justice, but this is the best display I've ever seen on an electric scooter, hands down. Plus, the creme de la creme, touchscreen. Easily usable touchscreen. You can turn off functions like zero start, cruise control that you would normally have to go into the P settings to adjust or bust out an app. Very responsive, very fast, easy to use touchscreen. You can adjust the acceleration force to the front and rear motor and the braking force just like you could on the RS, except it's just so easy to do on this thing. Just in case the GoPro wasn't doing it justice in the sun, this is what it looks like in the shade. It's such a nice display. I love it. Easiestly, hands down, the best display I've ever seen on any electric scooter. It's also got this cool little logo in the front now. This glows at all times when the scooter is on. And the headlight down here, oh, we can do this. Nice. So to use the folding latch, push the button up, unfold that, slide this up, pull the metal hook up right there, and then the bars fold down. It's got 4 different security mechanisms. You have the little pin right here, you have the sliding bars right there, you have the actual clamp, and then this little pin at the very, very bottom that the clamp slides behind. So you have to break through 4 different things if you want the bars to fold on you while you're riding, which of course you don't. These brakes are just some very generic Chinese off-the-shelf brakes. They're called Star Wuxing, but they are front and rear hydraulic brakes with 160mm rotors. No quad piston brakes. I guess somewhat ironically, this scooter, the Inmotion RS Jet, is actually lighter than the Inmotion RS Light, which was like the budget light beer version of the Inmotion RS Midnight. Okay, that's it. I'm sending it. Oh, I wonder if we can make the green light. Ah! Nailed it. Oh, a lot of people online tend to complain about speed wobbles, which, I mean, if you shift your weight to the rear, are really hard to get. If you're not 100% confident in your ability to ride fast scooters, I could see speed wobbles being a problem on this thing. Because the steering is just very, very loose. Like, it's easy to do, you know? I'll bet you I could tighten the steering bearing up out of the box anyways. That's my experience with it. I stiffened up the rebound on the rear by 6 clicks. There's 12 clicks on the front and rear suspension, front to back, to adjust the steering damping. But right now on the settings it's at, which is just kind of middle of the road, 6 clicks of rebound on both of them out of 12. It's not absorbing the little tiny bumps of this gravel very well. Let's give it some beans through here and see what happens. God, listen to this thing spit gravel into itself. I am doing some actual damage to the underside of this scooter right now. It's just spitting up so much gravel. Oh dear. Yeah, I need to get out of here. This isn't great off-roading. Get me out of this gravel, somebody. This might work. Can we get up there? Oh, heck yeah, we can. Oh, much better. Oh, come on. This person's going literally 18 miles per hour. Oh my gosh. They're from Oklahoma. Oklahoma took her jabs. Okay, can we make this light, folks? Everyone's still on their brakes? Let's go. What the f, you guys? Come on. Ain't nobody got time for this. They missed the light now. Stupid Oklahoma. As far as hydraulic brakes though, these things aren't bad at all. Like given that they're not quad piston, I'm not having to pull the brake lever very hard at all to get full stopping power. Very easy to modulate. This is super bumpy, like gopher hole ridden grass. Feels a lot bumpier at low speed, but when you send it on this thing, it just turns into butter. All right, so the Inmotion RS Jet, one main advantage over the Inmotion RS Lite and Midnight. First of all, super responsive touchscreen with all advanced settings right here. Very easy to see in the daytime too. I'm in direct sunlight right now. Might be harder to see on GoPro, but it is not hard to see in real life at all. The second major feature, it's got adjustable suspension, but you open this little flap, it reveals an Allen bolt. You stick your Allen wrench in the little bolt, and when you spin it, you can actually see the scooter raise and lower itself. Check that out. I don't know if you can see it that well, but the scooter actually raises up when you go counterclockwise and lowers down when you go the other way. So you can lower and raise the suspension on demand on this thing. I hope you can see that. But it's got a little readout right here that tells you what level the suspension is at. That's sweet. You don't have to put it up on a stand. You don't have to lift it and do all sorts of weird things, take anything apart. It's just got an Allen bolt. On the front suspension, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there is an Allen bolt right there. And you twist it with your wrench and you can raise and lower the front suspension on that too. Otherwise, this one's a little harder to get to because that brake line is in the way. I don't like that you have to go digging around in the front to get to the bolt to raise and lower the suspension in the front. I wish it were up here. But hey, at least I don't have to put it up on a stand, right? Anyway, these are our 160 millimeter disc brakes. I believe they're 2.3 millimeters thick, so they're on the thicker side, which might account for some of the awesome braking I've been having. Suspension in the front here looks longer, probably 145 millimeters of eye-to-eye length. I'll have to measure that later on. I should have done that when I did a full teardown of the thing, but you have your rebound adjustment right here. And then the preload adjustment, unfortunately, you got to take off the front tire and fender to access because you need a spanner wrench to go on the star nut at the bottom there. Oh yeah, by the way, super sneaky horn down here. The horn on the other scooters, on the Inmotion RS Midnight and the Lite, I believe the horn is right in here, but on this one it's down underneath the bottom. I think in here, this is just the DC step-down controller for the lights. Even though you can't adjust the front suspension from right here, which would be nice, you can read the levels still, so you don't have to look underneath the front of the scooter to see what level it's at. Right now you can see mine's a little bit lower than medium. But yeah, I did a full teardown on the scooter. The controllers look very nice, very waterproof, reminiscent of the Inmotion RS Midnight. And it's got a very bright rear tail light back here. These things are so bright that even though they're not close to the ground like the Inmotion RS Midnight, I'll bet you they still reflect off the ground. Like that's just a much better blinker design, unless you crash. Whenever I crash, the first thing to hit the ground for me is the lug nuts, brake lever thingy, and then if it's a real bad one, you'll get scrapes right here. So I hope these aren't too expensive to replace. It looks like the LEDs are actually kind of sealed in there. It's not obvious gaps and leakiness, so I don't know what kind of LEDs they are, but they're so freaking bright. Direct sunlight right now, and you can see those blinking no problem. We've got the standard 11-inch tubeless tires on this thing in the front and back, spraying all that gravel all over the scooter. Let's check out the bottom and see what the damage is. Ooh, yeah, that's actually one thing I forgot about. It doesn't have a battery box that you like put the battery inside of and the controllers sit in. This thing just has two side rails, one on each side. And then the controller and the battery and the rear controller mount into the side rails. So when you take out these corner pieces, you can unscrew the screws and the side rails will completely come off. And if you take one side rail off, you can take the screws out for the battery. And this bottom piece right here with the heat sink is actually the battery. Other scooters, you do 3 or 4 good burnouts and then it's just kind of sluggish after that. And I think it's just because we're heating up so much. But this thing has XT90 connectors from the battery onto the controllers. So much more efficient power transfer. It doesn't heat up as much. And also, like you just saw, the entire bottom of the scooter is essentially a giant heat sink for the battery. Yes, other scooters have the battery inside of an aluminum box that kind of acts like a heat sink, but that is the actual battery. So much more efficient heat transfer. I'd be willing to bet money that that means this thing will feel more powerful for a longer range down through the battery charge, and also probably get longer range off of one full charge. I was kind of dreading it, but now I'm looking forward to doing a range test on this thing. 7 miles down, we're at 80% of actual like full throttle pinning it most of the time. So let's do some calculations here. That's 3.5 miles for every 10%. So 35 miles of range at full rip. That's pretty darn good. But I really want to ride it. The sun's going down. The shadows are getting long. I'm going to hop back on this thing and just kind of shred. Shout out to Voro Motors. If you want to buy one of these, use the coupon Ginger on Wheels. You get it the maximum discount on the thing and you help support my channel. And I did. This thing is mad fun. All right, up the hill. We've got 75% power left. I'm in X mode dual motor. This is how fast we're still burning out the front tire, up the hill. Hyper view on the GoPro probably isn't doing it justice, but still 35 miles per hour up the hill. You gotta actually lean forward and hold on to the bars. It's just, the scooter wants to leave without me on it. 40 miles per hour up the hill, faster than this car. The power delivery on this thing is wild. I get that the Inmotion RS Midnight has 10 amps more power output per controller. I think it's 72 volt, 50 amps, right? This thing is 72 volts, 40 amps, or maybe it's 45? It feels too powerful for the specs. I don't get it. I will be doing a drag test between this scooter and the Inmotion RS Midnight, because even though this thing is like, what, $1,700 cheaper, I feel like it might actually accelerate faster off the line than the RS Midnight. This thing is nuts. 75% power uphill, and I still hit 40 miles per hour. I also attribute the long-lasting power delivery to the heat sink, which is basically the entire underside of the scooter, covered in protection, giant heat sink bolted onto the outside of the battery. This thing is fun. This thing just leaves, absolutely gone. And the brakes, check them out, ready? That would be considered an emergency brake. You don't want to do that all the time. And if you do need that much braking power, if you're a heavier guy or something, go into the settings here. You can change the front and rear deceleration, aka the regenerative braking in the motors, and you'll actually get some battery back while you do your stoppies. All right, we're going full crouch. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. We're gonna do an emergency stop. Oh man, the brakes are crazy. Hey, Voro Motors, if you're watching this, I'm gonna need a new pair of brake pads, please, and underwear. People driving like crazy around here. They look left, they see me, they're like, oh, a guy on a scooter, I definitely have time to pull out. Before they can even put their blinker on, I'm already right on their butt. This thing is wicked fast. 49 miles per hour still, and I only have 70% battery left. That's still hitting max advertised top speed on this thing. Love it. Okay, anyway, stay tuned, because like I said, I'm gonna be doing a range test on this thing, and we're also gonna do a comparison against the Inmotion RS Midnight as far as acceleration goes, because I think this thing might be faster. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, and yeah, that's pretty much it.